Well, welcome back. Beneficiaries of the 350 Rand a month social relief of distress grant continue to face challenges with this new Sassa biometric system. It's apparently making it impossible for them to receive their funds. This new process, piloted in Nelson Mandela Bay, now requires recipients without smartphones to verify their identity through web cameras on, or rather at their local Sassa offices. Now, Sassa has noted over 100,000 of the beneficiaries had successfully completed this facial biometric process in the trial run. But let's get an update on what the project is, where the project is at now and what the next steps are. Sassa spokesperson Paseka Letsatsi, it's great to talk to you. Thanks very much indeed. Important discussion. It sounds like this new biometric system has turned into much more of a headache, not only for Sassa, but more importantly for the beneficiaries.
Good afternoon, Michelle, and thanks for having me. I think you're quite right. We are experiencing some teething problems, and I may just have to give you a background in terms of how we arrive where we are today. The reason why we requested the beneficiaries to do the biometric verification, it's simply because in the past months, we have witnessed an increase in the number of people who request change of the banking details and the ID number or the cell phone. And we have then picked it up that when people request the changing to change their banking details, which is their right in any case, we have discovered that these are fraudsters who basically says, I want to change the banking details from Paseka Letsatsi to somebody else. And when the rightful owner or the rightful beneficiary want to access their grants, they find that their money is not there in their account.
Yeah, and obviously there's a reason why this biometric system is such an important initiative, right? For the reasons that you've just outlined insofar as fraud is concerned.
No, it is quite concerning, and I think it is a quite correct decision that we have taken because we are trying to protect the public purse. In this instance, we need to make sure that the money goes to the rightful owners. But Michelle, like you are saying, we then took a decision because we also understand from the side of Sassa that there might be beneficiaries who do not have what we'd say the smartphones, where they would be able to take the pictures of their face or their fingers. Then we decided to identify those particular group of individuals that in case they would want to do to change their banking details or their cell number or their ID number, they need to come to our office so that we can then be able to help them. But I think I may have to mention the fact that it's not a project which we have rolled it out all over the country. We started with a project in Nelson Mandela, and we realized that it's very quick. A person comes here 3 minutes. We just do the verification process, and if indeed this person is the right person or the rightful owner, then we're able to make sure that we change the banking details where they can then be able to access their money.
Yeah, it's very quick, Paseka, when you are able to get to a Sassa office. But I imagine, you know, the challenges are numerous. Number one, having a smartphone, and number two, when all the verification processes for biometrics fail, having to make my way to a Sassa office, the cost of getting there, perhaps I'm an elderly person who is unable to get there, you know, the challenges just double up on each other.
It's a catch-22 situation.
Yeah.
You do it, you are damned. You don't do it, you are in trouble. The public purse, the CEO of Sassa will have to go to Parliament and explain why she gave millions and millions of money to people who don't deserve to get the money. So we know that it's an inconvenience, but it's an inconvenience to the better. We pay about 8 million beneficiaries, and Michelle, this has only affected about 170,000 people, which in terms of the percentage is a very small percentage. We also don't want to inconvenience a person. When a person says, I don't want to bank with this particular bank, I want to change. We don't want to say, no, you must continue getting money with this particular bank. We need to give people that particular leverage. Unfortunately, Michelle, me and you, when we try to make things very easy and simple for people, we find that the fraudsters do not think like me and you. They think on how to defraud people. When we, at the end of the financial year, next year, we'll be telling you that 2 billion is lost and 2 billion was lost because of fraud. I would have to come here and defend the South African Social Security Agency. And the public will be asking Sassa, why when you identify that people are defrauding the organization, why did you sit down and not stop this? So we had to do it, Michelle. We know that it's a painful process, but we need to make sure that the taxpayers' money is defended at all costs.
You're absolutely right. It is an incredibly difficult position that Sassa is in, and it is a catch-22. You're right about that. So what have we learned from Nelson Mandela Bay that we now take forward when the decision is made to roll this out nationally?
We had a meeting, the executive committee meeting on Monday, and we agreed that the IT must then be able to give us the rollout plan. We need to make sure that we do not drag this particular process. It gets rolled out all over the country to make sure that people are able to access this particular program. We will definitely have an interaction. Michelle will use your platform as well once the process is it's rolled out all over the country. But I can assure you that where we are now, we are extremely uncomfortable because we need to make sure that people do not go through this particular painful process.
Can you answer two issues for me, Paseka, while we have you on the line? The issue about the smart ID. Ground Up was previously told that it's actually not essential to have a smart ID, but grant recipients who are still using the old green ID book, they obviously have less of a chance of verifying their biometrics using the green ID book. So do you need a smart ID to access this new system?
It's not compulsory, but let me just make a practical example. The Population Registration Act was scrapped in 1986, if I'm not wrong, right? You might have taken your ID at that time in 1986. You can just tell me the difference in terms of your face between 1986 and now. You are a totally different person because you have grown. And if you do the verification system, the system might not recognize you. In that instance, we would then have to send you to Home Affairs so that you are able to upgrade your ID and so forth. It's not about discriminating against people who have that particular Green Book ID, but it's because the facial recognition is a problem in terms of the picture, which is in the ID, and the face of a person after 20 years. Some people change over this. Some people have developed beards, and some people have grown, they've gained weight and so forth. And when you go through the process, it creates a problem. So we need to be 100% sure, Michelle. I think as the executive committee of Sassa will be extremely negligent if we do not make sure that we protect the public purse. Yeah. We would be expected to go to Parliament and answer all sorts of questions. And I can tell you, Michelle, the question will be, when you identified that people are defrauding Sassa, what is it, what mechanism did you put in place to make sure that you protect the taxpayers' money?
Indeed. Well, not me, Paseka. I look the same as I did 20 years ago. but very seriously, you know, you and I were talking about what do we do now before we roll this out nationally. And one of the other issues that recipients have flagged is there's obviously this option to, if I've changed my cell phone number, to get a verification SMS. To link my new cell phone number to my profile, right? But some recipients are saying that they are waiting more than 6 weeks to receive this SMS link to verify their identity. So when we talk about what do we do to streamline the process going forward when we roll it out nationally, this kind of turnaround time needs to be high up on that list, surely.
No, definitely. And I think what we do, Michelle, we have our toll-free number, which we interact with our people. We always tell them if we experience a problem, please be in touch with us so that you can find out the reasons why some of the problems you are experiencing, so that our customer care official can then be able to go through and assist you as quick as possible. So we would appeal to our beneficiaries that If you experience the problem, please be in touch with our toll-free number, then we'll then be able to help you so that we can resolve the matter as quick as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. Paseka Letsatsi, great pleasure talking to you. Thanks for giving us some clarity on these issues. And let's hope we get these teething problems out the way once the program is rolled out nationally. He's the spokesperson for Sassa, and if indeed you are a Sassa beneficiary watching this interview, there is that toll-free helpline that you can access or just visit your nearby Sassa office.